Good morning. What we'd like to do this morning is talk about the XC-100. Now the XC-100 is configured in two different ways. This particular method, the way this one's set up, is with a gantry loader and a station stalker. So I first want to describe just a little bit about the machine inside, and then we'll move forward. So you can see here standard 8-station static turret, 3/4 inch OD tools, 1 inch ID tools, and A25 spindle, 10 horsepower. This is basically showing the Takamaz collet chuck, but we can put any collet chuck or 3-jaw chuck, anything basic that'll mount to an A25 spindle. Boxway machine, just like the standard XC-100 with the in and out feed conveyors is. Finook control, and also has the standard Takamaz loader PLC as well. This is standard on all Takamaz machines with the loader, basically teach style with the pendant, as you can see as well, so it makes it very easy for setup, as with all the other Takamaz machines. So as I mentioned, this one has an overhead gantry loader and also has the 12-station stalker. So the stalkers are really nice for parts. This one has a capacity of 80 millimeter part diameter. Same as the other station stalkers, where there's a screw here where you can just loosen the screw, and it enables you to turn the plate and open and close the 3 poles depending on the part diameter. The other thing, we like the oval style stalkers rather than the rotary stalkers, which are round. This is kind of an oval shape, so you get more stations. This is 12 station, but also the size is also very nice, so it keeps the whole machine as very compact. So as far as finished parts now, again, the blank parts would go into the rotary stalker, but we can also come back to the rotary stalker with finished parts. So you can put, for example, you pick up your blank parts here, and you can put your finished parts into this station if you choose. Now, if you don't want to go back into the stalker for your finished parts, we also have an outshoot. So the outshoot, the gantry can drop the parts on the outshoot, and then we can have a type of an accumulation table or something in this area to accumulate your finished parts. Now, the other nice thing, the way we configure these machines, is that, as with a lot of the Takamaz machines that we've talked about, we bring this machine in with an extended gantry rail. So I'm going to take off this safety cover here so you can just get a look-see at this. So you can see over here the extended gantry rail. This allows, if you wanted to take your finished parts over to this side of the machine, it allows you to do that. And we basically remove this cover here. And then over in this area, we could have an out conveyor, we could have out tray system, we could even connect this to another machine if you wanted to. It just gives us a lot of flexibility by having that, depending on where you want your finished parts to go. So now let's walk around the back side of the machine. Well, this is the side of the machine. So this is the torquoid pump. You've seen these before. It's a high pressure pump, about 300 PSI, lots of volume as well. You know, the high pressure is really important whenever we're having an automated machine, because we want to definitely manage those chips. And basically the way we bring this in is basically to the turret and also to the spindle through as well. So that spindle through coolant is very important, especially if you're doing any ID cutting, so you can dislodge those chips. Chip conveyor out the back side. This is the coolant tank here, so the coolant comes down. We've got a flood pump here, and then the hinge type chip conveyor basically goes through here and comes up into about this area here, and then you can put your chip bucket under here and collect your chips. So kind of continue around the back side of the machine. This is the back side of the rotary stalker. So I want to really show you this. This is really a nice feature on the Takamaz machines here on the stalker. So basically, you see I'm opening this up. Now, if the machine was running right now, the operator would still have access to load blank parts into these 6 stations on the station stalker. What happens though is it actually disables the rotation of the station stalker as soon as I open up this door. So you can see there's a door interlock here, and that actually disables the rotation. And Takamaz has added a really nice feature for safety inside here. You can see over here there's a light curtain here. So basically, if an operator tried to put his hand, you can see that turned red as soon as I did that. So if we were running, that would immediately stop the machine and prevent any injury to the operator. So very, very nicely designed and a lot of safety included. So we're going to walk around now back to the front of the machine, and we're actually going to show kind of a step-by-step process on the loader right now. Basically just to show you the loading and the unloading sequence. So you'll be able to see this is the lifters coming up here for the blank parts, and it's also getting ready if we're going to put a finished part into the station stalker on the left. So you can see the gantry coming down now. The loader fingers are picking up the part. There's a sensor there that actually tells the gantry that there's a part there for it to pick up. So it's transitioning now. Obviously this is slow motion, so we're transitioning over to the point, and now we'll stop there for just a moment. What I want to show you here, this is called a Q hand by Takamaz. This is the loader hand, which would have the blank parts, and this is the unloader hand. And you can see here we have the pneumatic part pusher, as with all the gantry systems that Takamaz provides. And there's a sensor in here again, and when we push that part against the work stop, we make sure that we've pushed the part far enough. If we haven't, to protect us against any misloading, we get a fault and it'll fault out the machine. So now we'll come down with the gantry, coming down to the position where we're going to do our unloading. So first we're going to come over with our unloader fingers, call it opens, we grab the part, we come back out. Now at this point we'd be air blowing right now to blow off any chips, and now we're going to come in and load. So we're going to load that into the collet, and now we use the part pusher to push the part against the work stop. So now we've confirmed that the part is properly seated against the work stop. Come back out, and that's essentially the unloading and the loading sequence. Now you'll notice that the gantry is now going back over, and it's going to first of all drop a finished part onto the finished parts stalker position. Again, as we discussed, you don't have to go back into the stalker. You can drop the finished parts onto the outshoot or even onto the other side of the machine, depending on what you'd like. So now we're going to come over and we're going to actually pick up another blank part. Again, you can see that sensor there that is telling the gantry we've got a part. And then we're going to repeat the unloading and loading sequence. So that's essentially the loading and loading sequence. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it over to the normal loading and loading in the automated sequence. Again, obviously the doors would be closed and we would have the safety guarding over the stalker. So as with all Takamaz machines, the machines come from the factory like this. Takamaz, being an automated builder, integrates all of the automation and the material handling at the factory. So again, this is the XC-100. I do want to mention again that we're coming to you from our showroom. We've got about 15 machines here. So if you have any applications that you'd like us to do a time study and do a review of those, we've got engineers here ready to do that. And again, all of these machines in our showroom are under power, so I can run this machine for you anytime. If you want to see the details again, or you want to walk around the machine, or any information that you want to get, we can do a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting, and I can show you anything that you would like to see. And I can take the covers off and look at the back, whatever you'd like to see. So please keep that in mind. And again, thanks for tuning in.